Guys, when Jesus read out the list of names today, I almost felt like I didn't really deserve to be on that list, honestly, because this growing my will to receive God's love again is really challenging for me also. I feel like I've been conditioned to seek a lot of what I've called comfort. But as I've worked through this process of deconstructing my facade and dealing with my addictions, that's felt really, really uncomfortable. For 5 years, it's felt really, really uncomfortable. So I did have to keep growing this, desire for truth and, coming back to truth. And it's maybe a stubborn aspect of our soul when it's in error. I can't let things lie if I know that there's an error involved. So I came back a lot of times to things that were very uncomfortable for me. And I had to be willing to go through that. And do you know what I'm finding now at the end of 5 years? This process that I'm talking to you guys, I spoke twice this week about will because I am so passionate about it at the moment, because I've been someone who didn't want to know about their will. And now that I'm like rediscovering, if you like, this gift of my will, it's so precious to me. And it's a wonderful thing actually to embrace your will. It feels uncomfortable as we go through all that deconstruction process. But as you start to make headway in there, inroads, it feels like a beautiful thing. And what I used to call comfort now feels gross and disgusting and like really uncomfortable to me. Like sitting and having a dinner chat that's totally in facade and addictions now feels, I don't know if I can bear it. If there's not any bit of truth in the next 2 minutes, I've got to go, And if I don't have a voice, well, we're stuffed. If no one else wants it, I'm going to have to leave. And there's a new kind of what I would call joy or satisfaction or comfort, maybe even if you call it, except you probably wouldn't call it comfort if you're still on the other side of addictions and facade, because it feels much more real. It's much more exposed. The truth is more present in every interaction. And I'm not perfect at that yet, but even just growing my will enough to want those things again, that feels precious, and it does feel like a gift that I'm actually receiving this gift again properly.
So it's getting used to feeling exposed.
Yeah, that's one of the many things. Uncomfortable, exposed. That was a big thing for me. There's a lot of fear of judgment and condescension in me. So I feel often still really exposed when someone points out an error or something. But when you love truth, when you grow this love of truth and this will to love, you get used to that feeling and you feel it more as your own feeling rather than projecting it out as a discomfort onto others.
So it's going from fear of being exposed to love of being exposed.
Yeah. Because exposure is the real thing. Like it's all, if we're looking at things from God's perspective, there is no, all that chatter, facade stuff we put up, it doesn't even exist. God's like looking at the real stuff going, what are they doing? It's all a big smoke and mirrors attempt, and none of it's real. Yeah.